Hello everyone, this channel Options Edge has been created to discuss some interesting options trading strategies which I follow and use personally in my as part of my trading. Apart from discussing the strategies, I'll also be reviewing my intraday and positional trades done in the futures and options segment. So if you guys are interested in options trading and want to gain some insights, do subscribe to the channel. In today's video, I'd be talking about a strategy which I personally use a lot, one that has been very profitable to me of late. The strategy is called the wheel strategy. It's called wheel because it involves two legs. So in the first leg, we try to find an entry into the into stocks which we've shortlisted, stocks which we looking to enter at a price which is much lower than the current market price. And using the second leg, we try to generate some steady income and possibly find a profitable exit. So once we exit it, again we come back to step one, where we again try to enter at a price which is much lower than the market price. So we keep repeating this cycle. So when do we use the wheel strategy? So we can use it in two different situations. The first one is when we are in a bull market like the one we are in currently, and we are not comfortable with the valuations right now, and we are waiting for a correction to enter. So at that time, instead of just waiting and watching the market, the prices rise further, we can use the strategy to find an entry into the stocks we like at a price which we are more comfortable at. The second situation is this can also be used to generate some monthly income. This strategy involves four different steps which I'd be explaining in detail with an example. The first step, and also the most important step, is lies in identifying the right stock. We need to identify fundamentally good companies where the prices are quite stable. We don't want stocks which are too volatile. Uh, they have to be ideally low beta stocks, and of course they need to be in the F&O segment, and the liquidity should be decent. So the reason this step one is very important is we might end up in a situation where we are forced to take delivery of the stocks. So in that case, we need to have the funds and the conviction to buy the stock and hold it for a prolonged period of time. Once we identify good companies to buy, we start selling OTM put options. Take Reliance for example. It is trading at 2200 at the moment. If you would like to enter Reliance right now at a lower price than the current market price, what we can do is we can sell 2000 or 1900 strike price OTM puts. So how do we select the strike price? It depends on our comfort level. If we are actually looking to take delivery of the stock, we can even go much closer to the current market price of the stock in the cash market. We can even sell the 2200 put option if we have conviction in the stock and we're looking to buy and hold the stock for a prolonged period of time. But if we want to just generate some income, and we're not too keen on taking a delivery of the stock, then we can go a little OTM. So about 10% should be pretty good. I mean, it will give us some room to make adjustments once the price starts moving down, and we can roll down the strike price. We can move to the next expiry. And also, to give some protection to the put options that we've sold, we can also sell deep OTM call options. But we need to ensure that we're not too aggressive on these call options, because that side we are totally exposed. If the stock price crashes, then we can actually take delivery of the stock and start selling call options which is the next step. But if the stock price starts rising and we've sold uh, this hedge leg too aggressively, too close to the at the money, then we'd be totally exposed on that on the call side. So if the price is currently at 2200 and I'm selling 2000 puts, then I'd probably sell 2600 or 2700 call options. The way to select the OTM leg, the strike price OTM strike price of the OTM options, is to ensure that we are significant. The position is significantly positive delta. That is, if the stock price rises, our position will go into profit, not loss. Okay, so to understand this in a better manner, let's again go back to our Reliance example. The spot is currently at 2200. We've sold 2000 put options and 2700 call options. So when the price of Reliance rises, our max profit will be close to 2350. And if Reliance continues rising beyond that, we have enough time to react, and we have the option of either squaring off the call option which we used as a hedge, or we can roll up the call option to a higher strike. Uh, yeah, at that point, the put option is pretty much guaranteed to expire worthless. So whatever premium we got from the put option, we'd be keeping that be our income. So let's consider three situations here. First situation, Reliance price remains range bound between 2000 and 2350. Then that is the best case scenario for us. We both our options will expire worthless, and we'd make money from the premium received from both sides. Now, if Reliance keeps rising beyond 2350, then we would square off the OTM call options which we sold to 2700 call options, and we would probably shift to 2900 call options. And the premium from the puts is anyway going to that is going to be the put is going to expire worthless, and that is going to be our income. Now what happens if the price starts falling? So that is when we go to step 3. So after we enter the trade, if the stock price has gone down significantly, and it has ended up on the expiry day, it has ended up below the strike price of the OTM put options that we sold, then we have the option of making a couple of modifications and adjustments to the trade. But even after that, if it is still below the strike price of the put option that we sold, then we'd have to take delivery of the share. This is why it was very important to identify the right stock, or the stock which you feel comfortable holding for a prolonged period of time. If we did a good job in step 1 and selected the right companies, then there is absolutely no risk, because when prices go down because of market conditions, they will eventually, good stocks will eventually, the prices will come up and give us the opportunity to exit it in a profitable manner. Personally, I've taken delivery of a couple of good companies like HCL Technologies and Power Grid by using this strategy. And what do we do after taking delivery of the shares? We go to step 4. Here we sell call options at a strike price which is above the effective purchase price of the stock. I'll explain how to calculate this effective purchase price of the stock in the later part of the video. And just like in step 2, when we sold OTM puts, we hedged it by selling deep OTM calls. Here in this strategy, we do the reverse. We hedge the calls which we sold by selling deep OTM put options. To understand this wheel strategy better, let's take a look at a live example. Let's take Power Grid Corporation as an example. Why Power Grid? Uh, I like Power Grid because the growth in revenue and profits has been very consistent over the years. Let me show you. Take a look at the revenue numbers from March 2011. Uh, it has been consistently increasing: 8,600, 10,000, 13, 15, 17, 20,000, 25,000, 29. So it's been consistently increasing every year, and so is the profit. Right from 2011, if you see, the profits are consistently increasing. Looking at the return ratios, the ROE has been consistently above 15, and for such good numbers, it is trading at very reasonable valuations. The P is still under 10, and the book value, the price to book value ratio is less than 2. Now look at some of the competitors. Look at Adani, for example. Adani Transmission has very similar ROEs to Power Grid, but look at the P's. It is trading at Adani is trading at 111 P compared to just 10 for Power Grid Corporation, and the book value is like 15. Adani is trading at 15 times the book value, while Power Grid is trading at less than 2 times the book value. And the dividend payout has been close to 50%, which is giving us a yield of about 4%. Now with high dividend yield, it provides a little bit of stability. to the stock prices, it reduces volatility significantly. Also, last week a bonus issue was announced. See, bonus technically shouldn't make any change. It doesn't make any impact the fundamentals of the company in any manner, because it is just capitalization of reserves. Free reserves are converted into paid up capital. But somehow investors get excited when a bonus issue is announced, and they drive up the prices of the shares. So this is another trigger for the share prices to rise for Power Grid Corporation. Okay, now that we've identified a good company, let's go on to the next step. The spot price of Power Grid is currently at 233. So what do we do here? We sell out of the money put options in the stock. So I personally would like to go with the strike price 220. I'm being a little aggressive with the strike prices here because I like the stock and want to add it to my long-term holdings. But if you want to be a little conservative, you can go with a strike price of 200 or even 210. Once we sell the put option, then we hedge it by selling a deep OTM call option. In this case, 270 call option would be a good, would be an ideal choice. Let's check the current prices of these options. I've opened the option chain for Power Grid in Sensible. This is for 29th July, the next month expiry, because this month expiry is going to be in a few days. The coming Thursday this month is this month's expiry. So here looking at the prices, 220 put option is trading at 3.9. So we sell 220 put option, and then we also sell the 270 call option. So the premium would be getting from selling the 220 put option and the 270 call option is 25,000, and the funds needed to enter this trade is 1.8 lakhs. The margin needed is 1.55 lakhs. Now, why is there a difference between the funds needed and the margins needed? So there's nothing but the premium which we received. Once it's subtracted, that is what the margin required will be. So the first day we won't be able to use the premium to fund the trade. So the first day we'd need extra funds. So from the second day, this premium 25,000 premium is credited into our account, so we can use that as part of the margin. So margin requirement reduces to 1.55 lakhs. Now let's take a look at the Greeks. As you can see, our position has a positive delta. We created the position with a positive delta because in case the prices of Power Grid start rising rapidly, we have some room to make some modifications to the trade, so that we don't get burned on the call side. Because what will happen is, if the prices of Power Grid fall, even if they fall significantly, it doesn't matter, because we can always we have the funds to take delivery of the stock and then start selling covered calls. But we are totally exposed on the call side. If the prices rise by a lot, then we are exposed on that side, and we'd start making losses there. We don't have the stock with us to give delivery if the price rises by a lot, and it ends up being in the money. So what this delta of 386 means is, currently our position will gain by 386 every time, for every 1 rupee increase in the underlying price. That is, if the price of Power Grid in the cash market, if it increases by 1 rupee, our position will benefit by 386 rupees. That is assuming all the other factors remain constant. As I said, if the underlying prices keep rising, then to a certain extent, our position will keep getting more and more profitable. But after a point, we'll start going into losses. So we need to ensure that, say around 250 or 255, we need to start making adjustments to the positions. So what adjustment would we make here? We would we would shift the call option further away. We would square off the 270 call option and sell 280 or 290 call options. So that is how we can ensure that we don't get too exposed on the call side. So we need to ensure that we are not too aggressive on the call side, because if we are aggressive and the prices move up a lot, then we'll start getting into huge trouble. Now, what are the likely returns going to be from this trade? Now, let's consider the best case scenario. Let's assume that the spot price of Power Grid closes between 220 and 270. That is between the strike prices of the put and the call options that we sold. Then, in that case, our net returns will be 3.9 plus 2.35, which is the sum of the premiums of the put and the call option that we sold, multiplied by 4,000, which is the lot size of Power Grid. That will be 25,000 per lot. Now, that works out to about 14% ROI on the margins we used, which is 1.8 lakhs. Now, this is not considering the cash that we have on standby in the bank account in case we need to take delivery of the stock. So, I'm not considering that, because in any case, we'd be having that money in the bank account waiting for a correction in the market to deploy that. So, there is as such no opportunity cost from having that money in the bank account. That would anyway be earning whatever interest it was earning previously. Okay, now what do we do if the spot price of Power Grid falls below the short put strike price? We have a few options here. The easiest and simplest option would be to just do nothing and wait till the expiry and square off the put option, and simultaneously buy the stock in the cash market and take delivery. And then we can start selling covered calls. Uh, Now, if we are not too keen in taking delivery of the stock, there are a few adjustments we can make. Like we can roll down the put and the call option. Like we can roll down the put from say 220 to 200, and probably the call also from 270 to 250. And we can also roll over to the next month. We can do both together. I mean, roll down the put and the call, and to the next month series. Another option would be to just roll down the call option alone, and hope that the prices will recover and make the position profitable again. There's also another adjustment possible where we can sell an additional OTM call option, but since that involves a considerable amount of risk, I'm not suggesting doing that. Okay, let's assume that the price of Power Grid fell below 220, which was the strike price of the put option we sold, and let's assume it closed at 200 on the expiry day. So in that case, what we'll do is we'll have to take delivery of the stock. Um and start selling covered calls. So at what strike price would we sell the covered calls? So first we need to calculate our effective cost of acquisition. If you assume that Power Grid closed at 200, then we would have to buy back the put option, the 220 put option that we sold for rupees 20, and then we'd buy 4,000 shares of Power Grid the cash market at 200 rupees per share. So how do we calculate the effective cost of acquisition? The cost of acquisition would be the strike price of the short put option, and you need to subtract the premium received from the sale of the call and put options. So in this case, we sold the 220 strike price put option. From 220 we subtract 3.9, which is the premium we received from the sale of put option, and 2.35, which is the premium received from the sale of the call option. So our effective price cost of acquisition of Power Grid 4,000 Power Grid shares would be at rupees 213.75 per share. Now the strike price which we choose for selling the covered calls should be higher than the cost of acquisition of the shares. So 230 in this case would be ideal strike price for selling the covered calls, and we can hedge that by selling a 160 put option. Now why a 160 put option? If we look at the 5-year chart, price chart of Power Grid, we can see that it has very strong support between 155 and 160, around that range. It has tried to break that range 4 times, once in March, and then again in April, followed by once in May, and then once more in October. But each time it has bounced back from that level. So that seems to be acting as a very strong support. So which is why 160 seems like a safe bet. 160, selling the 160 put option. We can continue selling the 230 call option as long as the price of Power Grid remains below 230. Now, once the price starts going above 230, if we want to retain the shares, we can make adjustments and roll up the strike price, and also roll over to the next month. But if you're not interested in retaining the shares, then we can sell off the shares, and again once again go back to selling cash secured put options. Also, once we take delivery of the shares, we can pledge those shares and use that as margin to sell options. Okay, so that's about it. That is the strategy. This might seem a bit complicated, especially because of the hedge legs. If you want to make the strategy a bit simple, you can forget the hedge legs and take the cash secured puts and the covered calls without hedges. That will also decrease the overall risk of the strategy. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comment section. I'll try to answer them as much as possible. And I'll also be posting live trade videos which I take and adjustments I make to those trades. I also do a lot of intraday option selling, mainly short strangles and short straddles. So I will try to post videos of those too. So if you like the content, do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.